Chapter 606, Secret Skill. Please go ahead, Jian Wushuang said. Look carefully, it's the first move. Immediately, 6 tall spear soul phantoms arose behind him. Just after Dark Emperor thrust his long spear, the phantoms did so too. Darkness spread and created an eddy as if it would swallow everything in the world. At the center of the eddy, the cold spearhead had rushed towards Jian Wushuang with an all-encompassing lethal force. Jian Wushuang looked grave. Behind him, his golden sword soul phantom rose too. Although there was only one, the supreme sword essence it unleashed was much more powerful than those 6 spear soul phantoms. Gathering the spiritual power in his hand, in the next second, Jian Wushuang slashed out with his heart-killing sword, which looked like a boundless and lasting star river. It was the 7th move of heart-killing sword, Star River. Bang! 2 forces collided. Immediately ripples spread through the air. The dark eddy turned around and Jian Wushuang also staggered back many steps. In the eddy, Dark Emperor held tightly onto his long black spear and the aura of darkness on him became stronger. I have underestimated you. It didn't kill you. It didn't even suppress you. Instead, you have the upper hand. You are strong enough to be ranked among the top experts in the ancient world. Here comes the 2nd move. I will spare no effort this time. Then he thrust his long spear again. Seemingly simple, it rushed rapidly towards Jian Wushuang's head like lightning across the distance. So fast. Jian Wushuang's look darkened. Fast and horrifying. Saint Masters of the Darkness Temple behind Dark Emperor were shocked. Apparently he had spared no effort. Jian Wushuang squared his shoulders and watched the coming spear. The Blood River realm immediately spread and a blood bridge crossed the Blood River. Azura's secret skill, Road to the Underworld and Bridge of Helplessness were displayed simultaneously. The next moment, Jian Wushuang slashed again. He used his full strength, with all his body's power, spiritual power and power of sword soul and Tao. The Star River was much stronger than before. Boom! 2 forces collided again. Jian Wushuang stepped back more than 30 meters before stopping. Such a powerful move. A glimpse of admiration flashed in Jian Wushuang's eyes after he came to a stop. Though his physical strength was stronger than Dark Emperor, he was weaker in Tao, as was his trump card. Therefore, he was at a disadvantage. But fortunately he was not injured. You're not injured. I believe you are qualified to be ranked in the top 10 in the ancient world. Be careful, the 3rd move comes. Dark Emperor's cold voice reverberated in the world. On hearing this, Jian Wushuang's face darkened more. Saint Masters of the Darkness Temple were expectant. Is it? Sure. His most powerful move, Secret Skill, which he created himself. Secret Skill, when will we create our own? In the void, Dark Emperor suddenly struck out. Immediately the void turned into nothingness. A long spear stabbed out quietly but with amazing speed. It was too fast to react to. Jian Wushuang could only raise his long sword before his chest. Bang! A thud fell. Jian Wushuang's eyes opened wide after finding that a rift appeared in the void before him. Space rift. Jian Wushuang stared at it. It cracked space. Such a powerful attack. What's going on? Jian Wushuang was surprised. He thought it was powerful because it had torn through space. However, when it really hit him, he found that it was not. He was not even wounded. What happened? Jian Wushuang narrowed his eyes and understood immediately. Dark Emperor has planned this. He was just posturing to prove that he had tried his best. Understanding this point, a happy expression appeared on Jian Wushuang's face. Since it was a show, Jian Wushuang certainly would support him. Spitting out blood, Jian Wushuang's face turned pale, as if he was heavily wounded. Dark Emperor frowned and looked at Jian Wushuang. You are not dead? Your body is so strong that even Bone Dragon Emperor's body is not stronger than yours. I will keep my word. Since you're still alive, I will not stop you anymore. Then he left directly. Husband. Temple Master. Hearing what the Dark Emperor said, those Saint Masters' faces changed. Thank you. He turned his eyes to a corner of the Darkness Temple, where there was a powerful aura he had perceived earlier. That was Su Ming. Su Ming, come accept your death. Jian Wushuang's angry shout reverberated. In a hall of the Darkness Temple, Su Ming sat leg-crossed. He knew what had happened outside. His eyes fell when he saw Jian Wushuang was still alive after being attacked by Dark Emperor's strongest move. Dark Emperor's most powerful move, he created it himself. In the ancient world, only he can perform it. It's impossible that Jian Wushuang can withstand it, even if his body is strong. Chapter 607. Su Ming's Survival. Secret skills were very overwhelming and horrifying. In the entire ancient world, only the Dark Emperor could create a secret skill. The strongest experts, such as the Bone Dragon Emperor and Sir Ming, had never created any secret skills. Only with some other techniques could they have similar battle strength with Dark Emperor. In terms of offensive power, Dark Emperor's secret skill was absolutely the best. What astonished Su Ming, however, was that such a terrifying secret skill could be overcome by Jian Wushuang so easily, and the latter was just hurt a little. Humph! Dark Emperor was very selfish and only cared about his own interests. Maybe it was because he saw Jian Wushuang has incredible talent or thought about Bone Dragon Emperor, that he showed mercy just now. He has never been planning to protect me. As for that space rift, well, he was just acting. Anyway, the secret skill was created by himself, and is so complex that other people cannot tell the difference. Su Ming laughed coldly. At this moment, Su Ming, come accept your death. A roar with rage was suddenly heard by Su Ming. His face became solemn. Then, his figure immediately rushed out. At the next moment, he had appeared in the void, just standing in front of Jian Wushuang. Seeing Jian Wushuang, a dark and cold smile appeared on Su Ming's face. Jian Wushuang, my good junior brother. You hate me so much, and want to kill me immediately. It's good that you know this. Jian Wushuang shot a glance at Su Ming. Today, I'll definitely kill you. Kill me? Ha ha, you are kidding. Su Ming suddenly laughed. Jian Wushuang, you are too arrogant. You think you can kill me because I do not have the Dark Emperor's protection? You are looking down upon me too much. Jian Wushuang's expression couldn't help changing slightly when he heard these words. At this critical moment, Su Ming still had other trump cards. However, Su Ming stretched out his hand, in which there was a jade slip surrounding by slight thunderbolt power. Looking at this jade slip, a flash of coldness appeared in Su Ming's eyes. I thought I would use this jade slip later in the ancient world, but now, I have to use it. How unfortunate. With a slight sigh, Su Ming slowly gripped the jade slip with his right hand. At the next moment, the jade slip was crushed. Seeing this, Jian Wushuang had a bad feeling. As expected, after the jade slip was crushed, an incredible blast of power exploded, with dense space energy. The void above abruptly collapsed, and a huge whirlpool appeared from nowhere, connecting with another space. The other end of the whirlpool was full of mystery. At the sight of the huge whirlpool, many experts, including Bone Dragon Emperor and the Dark Emperor who had retreated to the Darkness Temple, greatly changed their complexion. Everyone could feel the special aura spreading from that whirlpool. That aura was alluring. Eternal world. This is the channel to the eternal world. Bone Dragon Emperor stared and shouted in a low voice. What? Jian Wushuang was also shocked. The channel to the eternal world? Generally, there was one-way travel from the ancient world to the eternal world, and the only way was through the use of the ancient world token. However, it was just the regular way. Yet, sometimes, there was special situation. Super experts, such as Emperor Xiao and Di Jing, could travel from the ancient world to the eternal world freely, and they could even bring someone from the ancient world to the eternal world. Before that, Emperor Xiao had said, if Jian Wushuang could not break through before the Firmament Territory Feast, he would also bring Jian Wushuang to the eternal world. But now, the jade slip crushed by Su Ming was apparently a very rare special way to the eternal world. Aha, Jian Wushuang, you think you can kill me? Seeing this scene, Su Ming was not surprised at all, but stared at Jian Wushuang with a cold smile. A little while after the huge whirlpool appeared and the special aura was spread out, a figure slowly stepped out from the whirlpool. This man was wearing a purple robe, on which some scarlet thunderbolts were embroidered. His body was strong, with a cold and proud face. He just stood there. Not intentionally, a light aura was spreading out, and the entire earth and heaven fell into a deathly stillness in a moment. A scarlet thunderbolt was surging in the purple-robed man's eyes, which swept past everyone present. Anyone who was swept by his eyes, even including Bone Dragon Emperor and Dark Emperor, could not help but shiver with terror. They all had a feeling that the purple-robed person could easily kill them with a single thought. How frightening! This man! Everyone present looked at the purple-robed person with fear. Just the aura made Bone Dragon Emperor and Dark Emperor extremely terrified. The man's identity was very clear. Someone from the eternal world. Bone Dragon Emperor's pupils shrank. Like my master, he is a super expert from the eternal world. But I don't know who is stronger between the two. Expert from the eternal world. Jian Wushuang also stared at the purple-robed person with terror. He could see that the purple-robed person's strength was far above the skyscraping realm, so he must be a super expert with a higher level strength. The purple-robed person, who was stared at by everyone, swept around with his eyes filled with scarlet thunderbolts, and finally looked at Su Ming. "You are Su Ming, my junior brother." The purple-robed person slowly spoke, in a low and heavy voice, just like the thunder. "Su Ming, junior brother." The experts present were all shocked. The purple-robed person came after Su Ming crushed the jade slip, so they had guessed that Su Ming had some connection with that purple-robed person, but they had never thought that the purple-robed person would call Su Ming his junior brother. "I am Su Ming. Who are you, my senior brother?" Su Ming looked at the purple-robed person in a modest way. "My name is Xianxia, and I am the guiding envoy of the Universal Thunder Sect." Before long, Sect Master Lei Xin said that he had traveled across a lot of ancient worlds, where he left some opportunities, and an opportunity was obtained by a little guy called Su Ming. He told me to pay attention to the situation of this ancient world. Once you crush Sect Master Lei Xin's pledge token, I'll come and guide you to the Universal Thunder Sect. The purple-robed person said in a very polite way to Su Ming. "I thought you would stay longer in this ancient world, but you crushed the jade slip so early." Hearing what Xianxia said, the people around understood everything. So that is what it is. Su Ming obtained an opportunity left by a super expert of the eternal world and has the chance to the eternal world. How lucky! Chapter 608, Universal Thunder Sect. All the experts, including Dark Emperor, Bone Dragon Emperor and the present experts from the Darkness Temple, looked at Su Ming with admiration. In normal circumstances, if they wanted to go to the eternal world, they had to desperately fight for an ancient world token, and then had to wait for the commencement of the Firmament Territory Feast to enter the eternal world. In addition, even though they took part in the Firmament Territory Feast, only the people who did very well and the most brilliant talents could get the chance to enter powerful sects. Most of the people who were going to the eternal world would become cannon fodder. But Su Ming, he could directly enter the eternal world and the Universal Thunder Sect just because he obtained an opportunity left by an expert of the eternal world, and he could even be guided by an expert. His luck was really heaven-defying. "I wanted to stay longer in the ancient world, but," Su Ming said, and looking at Jian Wushuang with incomparably cold eyes. Anyway, he had just broken through and reached the skyscraping realm. Indeed, he was not in a hurry to enter the eternal world. His original plan was to stay for another several hundred years in the ancient world, where he could enjoy being a top expert. Anyway, when he arrived in the eternal world, where there were countless experts, he, a skyscraping realm, would be as weak as an ant. However, just because of Jian Wushuang's pressure, he had to choose to crush the jade slip now and directly enter the eternal world. "Su Ming, my junior brother, can you come along with me now?" Xianxia asked. "Xianxia, my senior brother, speaking frankly, I have a deadly enemy in this ancient world. Today, if you, my senior brother, had not come, I'm afraid I would have become a dead body. If this man is not killed, I cannot go to the Universal Thunder Sect with a peaceful heart," So, I hope you can help me kill my enemy. Su Ming said seriously. Oh. Shui Yang raised his eyebrows, with his scarlet thunderbolt eyes sweeping around. Hearing what Su Ming said, Jian Wushuang looked concerned. Su Ming, my junior brother, who is your enemy? I can help you kill him. Shui Yang directly said. In this little ancient world, no one could stop Shui Yang from doing anything. He just needed to lift a finger to kill Su Ming's enemy in the ancient world. As soon as he thought Su Ming was the person Sect Master Lei Xin told him to guide, Shui Yang would not refuse at all. Thank you for your help, Shui Yang, my senior brother. Su Ming was very glad. He pointed to Jian Wushuang immediately. Shui Yang, my senior brother, my enemy was him. I hope you kill him. I will be very grateful. This little guy. Shui Yang shot a glance at Jian Wushuang, with no emotion in his eyes, and said, Little guy, as long as my junior brother wants you to die, you have to die. After saying this, Shui Yang reached out his hand and pointed a finger at Jian Wushuang. A light scarlet thunderbolt whirled around him and burst out in an instant. At that moment, hua hua, the void directly collapsed, and many space rifts, which were as long as several miles, appeared. More than a score of space rifts burst out immediately. The space in the ancient world is so fragile. Shui Yang smiled scornfully. The sight of this caused the surrounding experts to gulp a deep breath. Anyway, in their ancient world, it was well recognized that Dark Emperor had the #1 offensive power. However, even the secret skill he created, his most powerful technique, could only make a small space rift in the void. But now, Shui Yang's casual finger could produce power which was tens of thousands of times stronger than the Dark Emperor's most powerful technique. It was too terrifying. With a single finger, he could destroy the entire earth and heaven. No! Jian Wushuang's face became pale. Seeing the finger which could destroy the world attacking him, despite desperately wanting to escape, he realized with terror that no matter how he dodged, that finger would track and attack him. The comprehension of Tao from this far exceeded his imagination. Jian Wushuang, accept your destiny and die. Su Ming's face looked ferocious, looking forward to seeing the scene where Jian Wushuang was completely killed. However, just before the finger, which could destroy the world, really fell upon Jian Wushuang, the void before Jian Wushuang suddenly broke and a hole appeared. A giant hand came out from the hole and slapped that finger into pieces in an instant. Moreover, the power of the giant hand was not diminishing, and the hand continued to attack Shui Yang. What? Shui Yang, the purple-robed person with a superior posture, changed his face greatly at this moment. He had never thought that in this little ancient world, someone could head-on stop his attack. As the giant hand approached him, he had no capacity to dodge at all. Pang! The giant hand slapped Shui Yang, and the latter immediately spouted out a mouthful of fresh blood, while his figure retreated in embarrassment. At the same time, a grand voice with arrogance was heard from the hole, echoing between the earth and heaven. Universal Thunder Sect? Humph! How dare you? You dare attack the man who is valued by our Master Emperor Xiao. When there is a chance, I will visit your sect Master Lei Xin for Master Emperor Xiao. The arrogant voice echoed between the earth and heaven, lingering for a long time, and terrifying everyone present. Emperor Xiao. Master Emperor Xiao. Shui Yang's eyes widened, with a sense of terror. At this moment, he could not think about his own injuries. In a hurry, he looked at Su Ming and said, Su Ming, junior brother, let's go. Let's go quickly. Shocked by that scene just now, Su Ming was stunned when he heard what Shui Yang said. He realized the terror on Shui Yang's face. He dared not hesitate, and just directly stepped into the channel to the eternal world following Shui Yang. As a brilliant light flashed, Shui Yang and Su Ming disappeared out of everyone's sight. Who? Watching Shui Yang leave, Bone Dragon Emperor let out a sigh of relief. It's lucky that the master has been paying attention to the situation here and did something, or... Bone Dragon Emperor exclaimed. He knew that the person who had just attacked was Di Jing. Jian Wushuang, Su Ming has gone to the eternal world. If you want to kill him, it seems that you have to wait. Bone Dragon Emperor looked over to Jian Wushuang.
Eminência,
Jian Wushuang was just standing still and looking at what was happening. He slightly nodded, with an icy cold face. Universal Thunder Sect. Jian Wushuang gripped his hands tightly. Su Ming, you just wait, and I'll pursue you in the eternal world in a little while. Chapter 609, Heaven-Defying 4 Steps. Having not killed Su Ming, Jian Wushuang felt regret. Yet, except for Su Ming, the experts who had sought to kill the Sword Ancestor had all been killed. In the ancient world, Jian Wushuang had no other enemies. Jian Wushuang went back to the monster continent following Bone Dragon Emperor. They went back to the huge black castle where Emperor Xiao was living. In the garden, Emperor Xiao was sitting on a stone stool, while Di Jing stood by his side respectfully. You have finished dealing with your affairs. Emperor Xiao looked over at Jian Wushuang. Yes, I have finished. There was a little accident, but luckily Master Di Jing helped me out. Jian Wushuang said. Aha, it was a small thing and I just drove a little kid of the Divine Realm away. Di Jing smiled in a strange way. Divine Realm. Jian Wushuang was stunned. Naturally, he knew that Di Jing was talking about Shui Yang from the Universal Thunder Sect. However, Jian Wushuang only knew that Shui Yang was a super expert far beyond the skyscraping realm, and he did not know his specific realm. Now, Jian Wushuang knew that Shui Yang's level was called the Divine Realm. The little guy of the Divine Realm was nothing, but the Universal Thunder Sect behind him in the Firmament Territory is indeed not a weak sect. There are several experts of the Eternal Realm. When you go to the Firmament Territory and deal with the Universal Thunder Sect, you have to be careful. Di Jing said. Eternal Realm. Jian Wushuang was more confused. Little guy, aren't you yearning for the second grey stone bead? Now, I will give it to you. When you understand the realms after the heavenly creation skill, you will naturally get to know the concept of the Divine Realm and the Eternal Realm. Saying that, Emperor Xiao threw the second grey stone bead to Jian Wushuang. As if it had its own consciousness, the grey stone bead immediately went into Jian Wushuang's body as soon as it got near him. As soon as the second grey stone bead entered his body, it began to crazily whirl. Then, a torrent of information directly entered Jian Wushuang's mind. This information was naturally the cultivation technique of the realms following the heavenly creation skill. This is. Accepting the cultivation techniques of the several realms after the heavenly creation skill, Jian Wushuang could not help but feel astonished. The message said that there were 2 volumes of the heavenly creation skill, with the first volume ending at flying to the 9th heaven. Flying to the 9th heaven meant that the warrior should lay foundation step by step from entering the martial arts. When he reached the last level of the cloud realm, Jian Wushuang would feel perfect in all aspects. This was just laying the perfect foundation. That was to say that the purpose of the first volume of the heavenly creation skill was only to lay a perfect foundation, just like what Jian Wushuang had now. After having the perfect foundation, Jian Wushuang would cultivate the heavenly-defying 4 steps. The heaven-defying 4 steps were really the core and essence of the heavenly creation skill. The heaven-defying 4 steps were Step 1 Heaven-Treading Realm, Step 2 Deification Realm, Step 3 Everlasting Realm, and Step 4 Eternal Supremo. As for normal warriors, there were also 4 realms above the Cloud Realm, and those were respectively the Skyscraping Realm, the Divine Realm, the Eternal Realm, and the Tao Master Realm. The Skyscraping Realm of normal warriors corresponded to the first step of the heavenly creation skill, the Heaven Treading Realm. Jian Wushuang was at the 9 Cloud Realm now. Hence, if he could break through, he would reach the Heaven Treading Realm. The first volume of the heavenly creation skill was only for laying a perfect foundation. Then, the following heaven-defying 4 steps would be the most important. Jian Wushuang widened his eyes. To him, the first volume of the heavenly creation skill, which he had been cultivating, had several levels and was incomparably powerful. It could be described as overpowered. But now, he knew that the real essence and core of the heavenly creation skill was its second volume, i.e. the heaven-defying 4 steps. As for the first volume, it was only for laying a perfect foundation to make him perfect in all aspects. It seems that I have looked down upon the heavenly creation skill. Jian Wushuang exclaimed secretly. It was a heaven-defying cultivation method that utterly changed his destiny, and it was absolutely far beyond a normal warrior's cultivation system. Jian Wushuang did not know how magical it was and how much power it had on earth. Yet, as long as Jian Wushuang had set out on the road of inverse cultivation, he would not be afraid. He would continue along it without any hesitation. I don't know the differences between my heaven-defying 4 steps and a normal warrior's 4 realms. Jian Wushuang was secretly musing. But now he knew that he was still too weak. He had just broken through and reached the 9-cloud realm. It was not easy to make the first heaven-defying step. There are 4 realms in the eternal world. Shui Yang was of the divine realm, but in the universal thunder sect, there are several experts of the eternal realm. Jian Wushuang thought. In the 4 realms of the skyscraping realm, the divine realm, the eternal realm, and the Tao master realm, the skyscraping realm is the most ordinary. Emperor Xiao explained, in the eternal world, most of the ordinary disciples of the sects are of the skyscraping realm, and it is at the bottom in the eternal world. Take the Firmament Territory Feast as an example. Although countless experts of the ancient world would come, these experts had to reach the skyscraping realm at least to be qualified. Divine realm. In the sects of the eternal realm, someone at this level could obtain some prestige. Some divine realm experts with extreme strength could be the local tyrant in some isolated places in the eternal world. As for the eternal realm, it means eternal and everlasting life. Anyone reaching this level could be called experts even in the eternal realm. There are many sects in the eternal world, and the most powerful is the eternal realm expert. Experts at this level will be valued highly no matter which sect they go. As for the last Tao Master realm, Tao Master is the peak expert in the eternal world. They are the top beings, and the real overlords of the eternal world. Of course, the 4 realms are only normal warriors' levels. You are cultivating the heavenly creation skill. As an inverse cultivation, it has unlimited potential. Jian Wushuang quietly nodded. He was listening very carefully, and put everything that Emperor Xiao said into his mind. At this time, Emperor Xiao looked over at him again. There are 3 years before the commencement of the Firmament Territory Feast. In these 3 years, I'll do my best to help you raise your strength, and let you have the chance to take the first heaven-defying step within 3 years. At your level, if you want to raise your strength, there are only 2 ways, and the first way is raising your comprehension of Tao. The second way is secret skills. Jian Wushuang was intrigued. Needless to say, the comprehension of Tao was very important. As for the skyscraping realm experts, their strength level was based on their comprehension of Tao. Although he had not understood the secret skill before, having fought against the Dark Emperor, Jian Wushuang was very clear about the overwhelming and terrifying power of the secret skill. Chapter 610, 9 Levels of Tao. First of all is the comprehension of Tao. Emperor Xiao stared at Jian Wushuang. Tao is evolved from the origin source. The kind of the origin you cultivate will determine the kind of Tao you comprehend. Like many warriors you have encountered, nearly all of them have combined the weapon Tao with the origin, and that's how they comprehend their Tao. However, the origin Tao is the origin Tao, while the weapon Tao is the weapon Tao. They are completely different concepts. They have forcefully combined 2 different natures together. Although they have comprehended Tao, their Tao is unfocused nor complete. Strictly speaking, it cannot be classified into any type of Tao. The warriors who comprehend Tao in this way would be destined to stay at the skyscraping realm and would never raise their strength, unless they could get an expert's guidance. Hearing this, Jian Wushuang was surprised. He had encountered a lot of Taos, from Su Ming's illusory sword principle, to Blind Emperor's heart sword principle, to Emperor Fengxiao's water drop sword principle, to Emperor Golden Snake's phantom saber principle, etc. But all of them were Taos comprehended through the combination of the origin and weapons. In the beginning, Jian Wushuang felt that these principles were very weird. Later, as he really comprehended the slaughter Tao, he found the power of his slaughter Tao was much more powerful than those Taos. Only now did he finally understand it. The illusory sword principle, heart sword principle, water drop sword principle, and phantom saber principle were all Taos comprehended through an incomplete way. Naturally, they were far inferior than Jian Wushuang's pure and perfect slaughter Dao. Kid, I know that you have comprehended 2 origins. Among them, your comprehension of the slaughter origin is higher, and you have comprehended the slaughter Dao. Emperor Xiao looked over to him. However, it's a pity that I am not good at the slaughter Dao. Hence, I have to ask Di Jing to teach you. Senior Di Jing. Jian Wushuang looked at Di Jing immediately. Little guy, I specialize in the slaughter Dao. Although there were some accidents and I nearly died, I have recovered now. With my comprehension of the slaughter Dao, I could even be the master of an expert in the eternal realm. There's no problem to teach you, of course. Di Jing smiled. By the way, the 6-story pagoda, actually, it was given to you by me. Jian Wushuang's eyes shone. He had guessed the truth. The 6-story pagoda was full of magic power. Even the restrictions of the first story were incomparably abstruse. After breaking through the first story, Jian Wushuang directly comprehended the slaughter Dao. Yet, there were more profound restrictions in the other 5 stories. It was so great. Could it belong to a puppet master? There was only one answer, and it was that Di Jing gave the 6-story pagoda to him through the hands of the puppet master. A figure rushed out from Jian Wushuang's body, and it was his slaughter body. Then, in the next 3 years, the slaughter body will rely on you, Senior Di Jing. Jian Wushuang's slaughter body bowed and said. Jian Wushuang could only shrug his shoulders. He was not good at or fond of teaching disciples, but as long as it was Emperor Xiao's order, he had to obey. Although I am not good at the slaughter Dao, I am good at the world Dao. Emperor Xiao spoke again. Oh. Jian Wushuang looked towards Emperor Xiao with expectant eyes. Di Jing was Emperor Xiao's subordinate. Undoubtedly, Emperor Xiao's strength was much stronger than Di Jing's, and the former's personal instruction was better than the latter's. Without saying anything, Emperor Xiao just waved his hand. Immediately, gusts of world energy gathered and an incomparably huge khaki prison appeared in the garden. This is... Jian Wushuang looked at the khaki prison in surprise. This is the world prison. Emperor Xiao explained, this world prison was formed by the gathering of world energy. If you stay inside the world prison, you can clearly sense the surrounding world Dao, and the world prison will put pressure upon you and bring suffering to you. What you have to do is to comprehend the world Dao as soon as possible, and then you can break the world prison completely. Oh. Jian Wushuang's expression changed, and then his eyebrows slightly raised. He needed to completely break the world prison? Although he had not actually entered the world prison to cultivate, standing outside of it, he could see how solid the world prison was. Let alone him, even the Dark Emperor, whose offensive power was number 1 in the ancient world and who had created a secret skill, could not dream of breaking the prison, could he? There are 9 levels of Dao. Emperor Xiao said again, in this world, there are many types of Dao, but each kind of Dao has 9 levels of understanding. Every level is incomparably abstruse. You, and numerous warriors who have comprehended Dao, have just stepped across the threshold of Dao. Your comprehension of Dao is very low. Let alone the 9 levels, even the first level is incomparably difficult for you. Even the first level is incomparably difficult. Jian Wushuang was shocked. Yes, Emperor Xiao continued, let alone your ancient world, even in the eternal world, a warrior of the skyscraping realm who could completely comprehend the first level of the occult of a Dao is very rare. Those people are really geniuses even in the eternal world, and many sects would fight to get them. The world prison in front of you could only be broken when the first level of the occult of the world Dao is comprehended completely. Hearing this, Jian Wushuang became silent. According to what Emperor Xiao said, the warrior who could comprehend the first level of the occult were top geniuses even in the eternal world. He, however, had never comprehended the world Dao at all, and was far away from the comprehension of the first level of the occult of the world Dao. What's more important, he only had 3 years. Could he break the world prison in 3 years? Emperor Xiao thought too highly of him. Kid, don't worry. I don't expect you to break the world prison in 3 years, but I hope you could try your best to break it. It doesn't matter how much you can achieve. Any comprehension of the first level of the occult of the world Dao is an achievement. Emperor Xiao said. That's good. Jian Wushuang let out a sigh of relief. All right, you can go into the world prison and try. Emperor Xiao said. Jian Wushuang nodded and then directly stepped into the world prison without hesitation. As soon as Jian Wushuang entered the huge world prison, he immediately sensed the extremely dense world energy, which had become a physical substance according to special laws and thus created the incomparably solid world prison. How magical! How amazing! Jian Wushuang looked around with a sense of astonishment in his eyes.